You are knowing what you are wanting. You are enjoying how it expands. You like that you never come to the end of your wanting. Your desire continues to evolve. Well, not so much, eh? When you are approaching life from your eternal viewpoint, that sounds so good. When you know you are eternal, you don't want to run out of desires. And when you know you are eternal, not only do you not want to run out of desire, you don't want to run out of what causes desire either. You don't want to be rid of the contrast that causes you to focus yourself into a clear new awareness of what you want. In fact, from that eternal viewpoint, when you made the decision to come forth, you were eager about the contrast into which you knew you were about to be born. Because you knew and remembered then that it is from that variety that you focus and find the new awareness, your new preference. And you knew then, you remembered especially, that when that new desire radiates from you, whether you speak it or just feel it, and you always do, you knew that the larger part of you, in fact, even that which sometimes man calls God, the source energy part of you, would then turn undivided attention toward the new and expanded idea. And just because you in your physical body lived some contrast which caused you to desire or prefer beyond where you were, and because Source followed that preference, you expanded. The larger part of you, the you of you, expanded because of that new preference. Now the question that this gathering wants to address is, are you keeping up with that expansion? When you are sick, you ask for wellness, and do you know, every time you're sick, you ask for wellness in a newly defined way. And the source within you becomes weller as a result of that. Now, you don't have to be sick in order to ask for wellness. You could, in a state of appreciation, continue to reach for greater and greater and greater exhilaration in terms of your physical apparatus. But the contrast surely does help you to focus it. And every time you're sick and you ask for greater wellness, the source energy part of you becomes weller still. The question is, are you keeping up with it? And the answer is, not usually in the beginning. Because as you have launched that rocket of desire, you are, if you are like most humans, pretty much observing where you are. So even though you became weller, or because you didn't have enough money you became richer, or because you were confused you found greater clarity, or because someone was rude to you you found a nicer world, vibrationally speaking. Just because the desire emanated from you doesn't mean that you can easily go there and achieve vibrational alignment with that, because after all, you are where you are. You are an expanding being, but you are surrounded by the what-isness of what is. In other words, where you are has your attention, and we understand that. You wanted where you are in terms of your physical beingness to have your attention, because you knew that out of it would be born more ideas about how life can be better. But when you are fixated upon what is, when the contrast of life serves you by helping you to know what you don't want, which helps you to know what you do want, and the larger part of you holds the vision of what you do want, and you don't, you separate yourself from the larger version of you. In other words, that's what all negative emotion is. It means that life caused the larger part of you to move to a new place, but because you're fixated on the details of where you stand, you didn't go. Not easily. Oh, you're going. You can't not go. Because once life causes you to ask for more, all of the resources of the universe line it up so that you will have it. Many physical humans fill their vibrational escrow. We like that word, vibrational escrow. It is your future in vibrational form being tended for you by the broader part of you. And when you, in your physical form, find the thoughts and the words, the feelings, the attitudes, the moods, the expressions, the terminology, the visions, when you find the memory, when you find the things that you focus upon that are about this new vibration, you move to the new vibration, and when you do, there then is no separation between you and you. And when that happens, your manifestation of this expansion occurs. Oh, now you're manifesting all over the place. And in every moment that you are manifesting, in every moment that you exist here in this physical body, there is a vibrational relationship going on between you and you. And by that we mean between the vibration that is being offered by you because of what you're thinking in your genius, brilliant point of view, and the you that is the broader part of you that existed before you were born, that still exists even in non-physical, even now. You are here in physical form, and that holds the vibration of your vibrational escrow. You see how it works? You were source energy and still are. And as you were source energy, a part of you expressed forward into this body, a small part of you in relationship to who you really are. And as you're here now in this body, exploring what you want, what you don't want, what you want, what you don't want, you are sending off constant preferences or rockets of desires, which the non-physical part of you is holding. Not only holding, observing. Not only observing, giving. Not only giving, being. The larger part of you becomes what you ask for when you ask for it. When you ask, not only is it given, the larger part of you becomes what you have asked for. So the question is, how are you doing about keeping up with you? Are you a vibrational match to what you're asking for? And you can tell by the way you feel how close the match is. We want you, in the hours that we are together today, to begin to feel a familiarity, an ownership really, a beingness really, of this vibrational escrow. It is our desire that you begin to recognize that this vibration, which is your future experience, which precedes you vibrationally, and we want to remind you, everything that you know that is physical in nature was preceded by vibration. And by the time it is manifested, it was focused powerfully into view. Do you know that the focusing that you're doing here in this physical body is fine-tuning focusing? Do you know that? The majority of what needs to be done, 99.999999% of all creation is completed vibrationally before you see the evidence of it. So you're focusing upon things that cause you to feel good. That's just the last little piece of clicking into place. Because you didn't just start building your vibrational escrow since you got here. You didn't build it yesterday in the middle of that argument with someone. You added to it. You clarified it. You didn't build your vibrational escrow last week when you were sick or last year when you were sick. You added to it. You amended it. But this vibrational escrow, this you of who you are, this is a veritable vortex of attraction. And all things necessary for the coming together of that which is you is being drawn to this vortex. We want you to feel it. Feel this vortex of becoming and law of attraction's powerful effect on it. So, you ask for more money, it's been summoned. You ask for more clarity, it too has been summoned. You ask for specifics like houses and cars and people and relationships and better feeling everything. And as you've been asking with detail because of the contrast that you've been living, this vortex is spinning and drawing to it all things necessary. And once you have an experience that causes you to expand to a new place, you can't keep beating the drum that isn't keeping up with the expansion that life has given you. You've got to keep up with the expansion that life has given you, or you're not going to feel good. So every emotion you feel is about the vibrational relationship between where you are in the moment of the feeling with the thoughts you're thinking right here in your beautiful physical body and who you really are, who you have become. So here is this vibrational escrow, this veritable vortex with law of attraction, summoning all components necessary for the full realization and manifestation of everything that you've been asking for. What a pot is cooking here. It is magnificent. And if you are feeling despair, you are so far from this vibration or escrow that even its existence is annoying to you. If someone else, you see them living what's in your escrow that you're not living, you find yourself not liking them at all. In your despair or anger or revenge or judgment or hatred, you feel terrible. You are so far from this vibrational escrow. Now, the thing that's very interesting about that is, over here in this contrasting experience, as you get a whiff of that, as you see someone else maybe living some of it, and then you realize that you're not, you have a stronger stream of negative emotion, which causes you to launch a stronger than ever rocket of desire. So you just ask for more, but as you hold your negative ground and don't go, you feel worse still. So here's this vortex swirling with all things wanted by you. And here's you over here holding yourself apart from it by the habit of thought, by the thought you keep thinking, by the chronic thought, by the drum you keep beating, by the online chat group that you respond to, by the stuff that you are reading and talking, by the things that you're keeping alive with your conversations with your friends. You are holding yourself, not meaning to, not wanting to, apart from who you've become. So now let's say that you are in a state of frustration. Oh, now not so far from your vortex. And in frustration, this vortex is every now giving you a glimpse of something you want. In fact, every now and again, you get a feeling of exhilaration. You sort of get an idea about something. You're closer to the vortex and you're feeling better. Once you get to a place where you are feeling the slightest little bit of hopefulness about this thing that you want, you are so within range that now the universe is starting to give you clues, little hints of things. You say, oh, I'm being tested. Things begin to show up. You begin to see exactly what you want being driven by someone else. You are in the vicinity, and we want to say to you that once you reside pretty systematically, nearly chronically, in an attitude of hope, you're close enough now that the universe is giving you enough evidence of your close proximity to what you want that now you're almost inside the vortex. And when you find a little bit, only a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of belief, you're in. You're in. And in the moment that you move within vibrational range, now things start showing up. Things show up all over the place. You begin to feel the cleverness and the clarity and the power of your beingness. Now, most of you are moving in and out of your vibrational escrow all day, every day, depending upon the subject. There are some subjects you're so far away, nobody wants to talk to you about that anymore. You know those subjects. You have friends that have them, that issue they've got. And they always, no matter what you're talking about, they manage to bring the conversation around to that issue. If you keep beating the drum of where you are in relationship to what you want, you just hold that tension. Now, there are other subjects that you feel more hopeful about, and so the universe is yielding some things to you relative to some subjects and not so much on others. And it all has to do with your relationship to who you have become. However, we want to say to you that your usual attitude about one thing or the other is consistent enough that you have a pretty steady relationship with your vibrational escrow. You know people who are so knowing of well-being, who so expect things to go their way, that it looks like the universe just knocks itself out to give them what they want. You barely hear them verbalizing that they would like to see something or know something or have something, and they have it. And if that makes you feel exhilaration, you jump right into your vortex where you get some too. But if it makes you feel jealous, if you say it's not right, if you start looking at the disadvantage that you have while they seem to be having the advantage, then you hold yourself, it seems to be deliberately, we know it isn't, outside of the universe's ability to yield to you, because you hold all of the power. You're either allowing alignment or you're disallowing alignment. We call it allowing or resisting. You're allowing the well-being that is yours, that is constantly being summoned on your behalf, or you are not. It really is that simple. And the better you feel, the more you are allowing it, and the worse you feel, the more you are not.